What's up, brothers? Hope everybody's doing well out there. Sometimes I'll sit around and think about what I want to say in a video and try to get all my words right. But times like today, I just like to turn the camera on and kind of just have a conversation with you guys and just talk about what I'm currently thinking about. So that's what I'm going to do in today's video. We're just going to have a little conversation. And what I was thinking about today was this concept or this phrase that I hear go around a lot, and it's called a rite of passage. You ever heard that term before? Rite of passage. And I know there's a lot of content on YouTube and all across the internet that is geared towards self-improvement. It's geared towards helping guys develop social skills and talk to girls and make money and all of these basic primitive human things, these human concepts. And I think there's much bigger issues that men need to focus on. And all of that other stuff will just work itself out. Your girl problems, your money problems, that stuff will work itself out when you work out the bigger issues. So that's what I'm going to say leading into this conversation about rite of passage. Now, for those of you that don't know what a rite of passage is, I'll try to give you an example. What's something that we can all understand and relate to? So, I don't know how many of you guys played sports when you were in high school, when you were teenagers. But if you played on, let's say, a football team, at some point in your time on that football team, you'd have to go through a rite of passage. So you'd start out and you'd be a freshman. And as a freshman, you get bullied, you get beat up. You show up to practice and you got to put on the old sweaty hand-me-down pads and helmets. You're last in line at the drinking fountain. You get treated like crap because you're a freshman. But as time goes on and you become a sophomore, a junior, and by the time you become a senior, you're well respected. Everybody treats you well. You get the brand new shiny helmets, the brand new pads, and life is good. And sometimes you can expedite this process. For example, let's say you're a freshman and it's game time and a couple of the starters get injured before the game. And the coach says, hey, you're up. So you go out there and you kind of nut up and you use every bit of energy you have and you just lay the wood on somebody. You lay the wood on their star receiver. You knock the shit out of him. Well, now all the other players are looking at you like damn. Yeah, you're a freshman, but you're a freshman that we need to put some respect on your name. You've proved to us that you're worthy of being out here with us. So from that point on, you're going to be treated like a senior because you're a badass. Well, that's a rite of passage. That's an example of a rite of passage. And as you go throughout life, you're going to have many opportunities to go through a rite of passage. Opportunities come and go. You can't really pick and choose. It's just life kind of happens. Your rite of passage could be a career. It could be getting your master's degree. Could be physical fitness. There's a lot of different pathways you can go on your rite of passage. But I know they like to say men and women are equal and all this and that in this day and age, but this is something that men really have to get through their heads. Because if you don't go through this transitional period where you go from being a nobody to a well-respected somebody, you're screwed. You're toast. You're going to be one of these guys that places all of his value on his looks or his money, or some other fleeting fucking object. And, you're just going to be screwed. But if you're a man that goes through his rite of passages, you're going to do just fine. You know, just to give you an example, again, I like to I feel like we're talking to a broad group of people. So I can't get extremely specific on these subjects, but I try to use terminology and use analogies and stories that anyone and everyone can listen to and can relate to. But I'll just give you a small example of a rite of passage in my own life. There's been hundreds, but this is just one example that maybe other people can relate to. About 12 years ago, my girlfriend and I were walking into a bar downtown. And as we were walking in, there was a couple walking about 15 to 20 feet ahead of us. And on the patio near the front door, there's about 30 to 40 bikers, a biker gang, sitting outside. And the couple that's walking ahead of us walks through the pack of bikers. And one of the bikers starts catcalling the dude's girlfriend, whistling at her, shit like that. And then he says, "Hey, why don't you come down and sit next to me?" And her boyfriend said, "She has a boyfriend." And the biker looked back at him and said, "She doesn't have a boyfriend, she has a girlfriend." And nobody did anything. The couple just walked inside. They got disrespected. The biker didn't touch the girl. He didn't put hands on the guy. He just let him walk past, but he said that to him. So I grabbed my girlfriend's hand, because I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, I don't know what's about to happen, but these guys seem like some total fucking scumbags. So I grabbed her hand to make sure she knew, like, I've got this situation. Like, I've got it under control, okay? And we're walking in, and we walk through the group of bikers. And I'm kind of, like, I'm already thinking in my head they're about to say something. And at the time, I'm not saying I was the toughest guy in the world, but I'm saying I was a bit of a head case. And if they disrespected me or they made my girlfriend feel uncomfortable, I was going to try to knock the first guy out, and then I'll get jumped by the other 40 of them. That's just the way I was. So anyways, I'm walking through the group, and I looked the dude dead in the eye, the scumbag, or what I perceived as a scumbag, as I was walking past, looked him dead in the eye, and just kind of stone-faced him. And he nodded his head at me and said, "What's up, brother?" Same way I say "What's up, brother" at the beginning of these videos. And I was a little confused. I was like, this dude was a total scumbag to the other guy. Why'd he say "What's up, brother" to me? And then he says, "What's your bench?" And I kind of laughed, and at this point I was like, kind of let my guard down a little bit, and I'm like, this guy's being kind of friendly with me. What's going on? And I said back to him, I said, "Well, my bench is a lot less than all 40 of you combined." And then he joked around and he said, he said something like, I'd probably be out of breath working out with you for 5 minutes. And then he kind of laughed, and I walked inside. And I was a little bit confused about why he would be such a scumbag asshole to that other guy. But he treated me like we were friends. And the only thing that I could come up with in my own head is that the guy ahead of me was, the scrawny, pretty boy. He just looked like that scrawny, pretty boy, Beverly Hills, cupcake type of guy. And he was on the wrong side of town. And there was a big group of roughnecks hanging out there. And, in all actuality, I think those bikers were kind of warning him. I think they were doing him a favor and warning him that, hey, bro, if you're on this side of town with your scrawny little ass and a pretty girlfriend, things could go wrong pretty quick. And maybe that would inspire that guy to, maybe hit the gym. And me, I bench pressed 350 pounds. So when I walked past, I looked like the kind of guy, I suppose because I grabbed my girlfriend's hand and I looked the guy dead in the eye, like letting him know I am a threat. I suppose he respected that enough to, give me a pass. And deep down, I don't think the guy was being a scumbag to the dude ahead of me. He was just warning him. And I think he viewed me as a guy that I suppose looked like I could fit in on that side of town, around those type of people. And, it's one of those things, and the reason why I use that as an example is because the only difference between me and this guy was that this guy was probably 6 foot tall, 170 pounds. I was 6 foot tall, 210 pounds, bench pressing 350 pounds. Okay? And for anybody out there that, if your approach on physical fitness, on working out, on going to the gym, and by the way, this could apply to your career, it could apply to any aspect of your life, but I'm just using the gym as an example. When somebody looks at you and they say, wow, like that person clearly has a lot of dedication, they clearly are very disciplined, they're clearly tough, they're clearly hardworking, they put a lot of effort into being that physically fit, it gives you a level of respect. And that doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You're walking through the mall and you see a dude that's fucking jacked, or you see a woman that's just has an amazing body, you know damn well that they work hard for that. Dedication, discipline, it's not easy. So it's sort of a rite of passage. They instantly, in your eyes, due to a halo effect, go from being a nobody to a respected somebody. And that's the only thing that I can come up with in my head that would cause them to treat me differently than the other guy. But I suppose that's one example of a rite of passage. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But there's so many different areas of your life, especially if you're a man. There's so many rites of passage that you can pass through. Your physique is something that just about every man can go through. And I don't care how short you are, how tall you are. If I was 5'4", I'd be the most jacked 5'4" guy out there, and I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be cocky as hell. And, sure, the taller guys might beat me out from time to time, but whatever. I'd still keep coming back and I'd keep fighting. Wouldn't give a damn. And I don't mean literally fighting, I mean, if some girl says she only dates guys that are 6 foot, I'd say screw her. Move on to the next. And I'd keep trucking. That would be my approach on that. I see no benefit to allowing your flaws to hold you back. But, other areas of your life, your career, when you show up at a job, by default, you are a nobody. You're the new guy. Nobody knows or cares. Nobody views you as somebody that's qualified to do anything. But then when you step up and you take care of a big assignment, when you step up and show them you're a valuable player on the team, from that point on, you've went through your rite of passage. You're a respected somebody. And, there's many areas of a life. You could say fatherhood or motherhood. I would damn well say a woman that's gone through a pregnancy, that's a rite of passage. She goes from being a teenager living hot girl summer to a mother. That's respectable. I think you should certainly respect that. And everybody and every individual out there has rites of passages they can be going through on a daily basis just about. So, ask yourself, whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're focusing on right now, have you gone through your rite of passage in that area of your life? Or are you just sitting back and you're just kind of going through the motions? You're flying under the radar, you're a nobody. Because, if you don't step up to that plate and make the change, make the difference, make an impact, make your dent on the universe, it'll never happen. You'll never get that respect that you probably deserve. I think just about anybody out there deserves respect. Until they do something that's so terrible that society should no longer respect them and they should be in prison, until that day comes, I think everybody's capable of going through their rite of passage and becoming a respectable somebody. And I can guarantee you, especially if you're a young guy out there, 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, when you go through that transitional period, when you go from being a nobody to a respected somebody, your lady problems are going to work themselves out. Your financial problems are going to work themselves out. That's easy shit. As I was saying, that's very primitive. That's surface level stuff. You'll realize how silly it was that you were focused on how to cold approach a girl, how to flirt with a girl, how to talk to a girl, how to save money, how to invest money. That stuff's all second nature when you're respected. Sort of falls in your lap. Well, the opportunity falls in your lap, and it's up to you to capitalize on it, but that's a whole different story. Anyways, guys, I suppose I won't ramble on too much here in this video, but somebody was asking me. They said, since you've been live streaming a lot lately and podcasting, does that mean you're going to stop making these outside brick wall shooting the shit videos? Come on, man. You think I'm going to quit this? This is a lifetime investment here. This is a lifetime membership. I'll be doing this until I'm old and gray. I'll be doing this into my 60s if I can. Why not? It's something easy. It's something I enjoy doing. We get to relax and shoot the shit. It's mostly men being men, but we have a few women drop in as well. We enjoy the company. Anyways, guys, like I said, I hope this video was somewhat informative, but that's about it for today, guys. Until next time, see ya.